What's up, everyone? Welcome back to RIT Esports stream for Marvel Rivals. We're here to watch RIT Orange versus the University of Montevallo. I am Henry Reborn, and I'm joined with
Cookie Thy Bot. And today is particularly interesting because RIT last semester lost to the same team. So hopefully this semester, RIT Orange can secure a victory.
That's right. We're back for revenge. Against a solid team, we need a solid win. They're going to come out swinging. We just got to come out harder. I'm very excited about this game. Interesting band so far.
First map, Hell's Heaven.
Yes. Hell's Heaven domination, of course. Usually, I would say strong bans here for the most part. Yeah. Although Angela's wide open. One of her best matches here. If they have a strong Angela, we might be in trouble. So we gotta, memorize that. Interesting.
White Fox is allowed to be played now in PCL, so we'll see how either team either counters or plays them.
Yeah, she's kind of shaking up the meta, so made things a bit more aggressive. Looks like the RIT Orange might try to, or no, Montevallo. Montevallo might try to output a White Fox Gambit. Interesting. I haven't seen that in comp before, but if they keep pressuring with damage, it might work really well for them. We see... We have saved the Emma. Strong save so far. We saved also Cloak and Dagger. One of the better supports here.
Now
the final ban, Magneto. Really? Okay. Interesting. I would suggest running a... Oh, no, they did ban Punisher and Magneto. That's curious. Why would they ban the two? They might have maybe a strong Star-Lord? Oh, I guess not. Cloak and Dagger, of course, being played S tier support these days. Long ult, really just versatile utility. Along with Gambit. Gambit's open. You obviously want to run Gambit. So we're going to see a mirror match from the support today. In terms of DPS, though, we're going to be seeing RIT run Hella Namor. And in the front seems to be Emma and Strange. Solid picks. On the opposite side with Montevallo running... a raw Moon Knight with Storm. Also really high damage dealers, so. And they are also mirroring in the front Strange Emma. Oh, and...
Oh. So.
That was interesting.
The enemy team might be running a Jeff, but it is possible they're just doing that to get bubbles to get out of spawn faster.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Okay.
Can't wait for this battle to start.
Oh, Shaq's going... oh, no, we all switch back. Okay.
A portal?
Insta portal by Montevallo. Strong strat. If they can place this properly right, they might absolutely cut off our team completely and just get a bunch of picks. And it looks like they're in for the kill. A little late, but they're starting out the fight. Map has been flipped. We see from our supports trying to just keep up. We got some good util spread. Nothing too crazy. Just a little neutral. Trying to keep things, touch and go.
A support picked off really early.
Oh, really strong for Montevallo. Showcasing their prowess already with 2 picks. And a third and a fourth. And RIT just keeps falling down. A secured point for Montevallo. Good portal at the start. Actually, they were able to make that kind of chance happen. Other teams might just fail. They might have to back off, really just kind of play height. But Montevallo kept up the pressure and was able to pick us off one by one. Let's see how RIT will respond. Solid push from Blade 51 alongside with Shaq XD404. Still at the front.
It seemed
Namor possibly looking for an off angle here.
Yeah.
But the pressure from Montevallo just too much. They're feeding so hard into the Moon Knight, it just makes it so easy for Montevallo. And you know what? Good players take advantage of what's given to them. Another great pick by Montevallo, staggering RIT once again. RIT has to figure out what to do. Possibly Strange Portal, possibly, you know, go through the back. We're trying to figure out something.
RT Orange did come up with Gambit ult. Maybe they're able to rip it before the
Opposing Montevallo rips ult, possibly. Let's see what we would do. Still keeping the neutral up. It seems Montevallo is being much more aggressive, and this is what's been consistently pushing them to the top. They are almost already at 70%. This is really not looking for good for RIT, actually. And they're so much so that Montevallo is pushing them to spawn. RIT has a choice here. We have not a lot of time. 80% done with Montevallo. Do we portal or do we push? We're portaling. That's what's going on through the heads of the Strange right now. There we get a successful portal onto point. Let's see how Montevallo responds. So for strong performances, RT Hudie pops an ult for Hella. Another Us Against the World. Emma ult. An Eye of Agamotto. Another Eye of Agamotto to counter.
The
Gambit ult and a Gambit ult for a response. Teams. Lots of ults being popped. Let's see who stands the victor.
Hudie does go down. Let's see if Miguel's able to get a pick on any of the supports.
K9 going in for the Gambit. Successfully gets it.
Stormo goes
K9
down. Gets
might have
51.
to ult here to even just contest the point still. There she goes, but unfortunately, when you ult, it does not count as a person. And
however, they are still on.
Montevallo just keeps sweeping. It's a 1v1 right now. RIT Hudie versus Sharky from Montevallo. We're able to get the pick. They're still going to continue to contest, though. If we can get a pick on this Gambit here, well, we can stagger, but no. Montevallo's smart. They push back. They're regrouping. They have the time. They have the resources. It's up to RIT to hold up the defense, really.
Now, RT really needs to watch out for the Moon Knight ult, because last time, the whole backline just fell apart.
Yep. RIT having no ults here, but Montevallo still keeping on to the sneaky Moon Knight ult with an Emma Frost ult, possibly in combination just to seal the deal here. As we look as they get height, Montevallo pushing in now. Strong push. Combination ult, of course. One pick, two picks. We're about to get a
Possibly a third.
Montevallo just keeps getting back-to-back picks, making their efforts strong. RIT tries to respond best they can with K9 getting 2 picks, but it's just a hard 1v3 that's just impossible to win, especially just as a Psylocke. RIT going in Shaq XD404 with a Venom stall, trying to get people on point. But Moon Knight coming back in. Obviously, their strong player has been there consistently throughout the game. It's going to be a real doozy. A good ult from Blade,
down.
51. Solid pick. Forces the pressure onto Montevallo. They have 2 lost. They're going to have to back up. But not to worry for Montevallo yet. They still have time. They still have a 50% to go through and a couple ults. Although RIT coming to 4 ults in comparison with 5 on Montevallo, so RIT might have to try and tempo here to keep up the pressure. Otherwise, Montevallo is just going to keep stacking after stack and eventually claim. Yep, there we go. Double ults. Triple ults. Hudie trying to get some really good picks on the back here. Yeah, the pressure was just kept. RIT holding really hard now. Montevallo having to port.
Blade going for a counter portal.
Counter port by Blade. Let's see it. Possibly, does he pull it off? And it was placed perfectly. Only one of their teammates able to make it in.
Get a pick off the
But it was just not enough. Montevallo still able to press on. Monster W getting a good pick on Hudie. Kind of trying to get a Strange ult.
Eye on both sides.
Blade 51's massive eye.
Kill.
It's been big. RIT somehow making a good clinch. If they can somehow secure this 3v3, We have the numbers with the healers.
Angela, wow, what a comeback from RIT
Very
Orange.
impressive performance. Montevallo came out really strong at the start, putting immense pressure, but RIT was able to just, in the final moments, gain back the point and then overcome. And just constantly keep up a wall defense that we haven't seen in a while. Not often do you get to see clutches like that. It's very impressive. I think, Montevallo is really forcing RIT Orange to, go all out here. Little room for mistakes they have to make. We'll see how Montevallo responds after that unfortunate loss. Heartbreaking.
It does seem Montevallo is considering a triple tank route.
A 3-1-2. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is actually the second highest win rate, this composition of 3-1-2. Rivaled only higher by the 2-2-2. But the sustain with the constant healing just allows for a good team, really, to keep up and never really get picked off, especially if you have a solid DPS doing really good damage, which their Moon Knight has been showcasing throughout the game. A good kidnap, but unfortunate couldn't finish from Montevallo. Strange trying to hold off the ground. Angela trying to really get something in here for Montevallo. K9 going in for the ult. They're all grouping up. Really smart play by Montevallo. Actually getting a reverse pick on Hudie. We'll see how Montevallo responds. And Shaq XD404 with a really good Venom ult, giving the anti-heal needed for RIT to keep sustaining. RIT, as a solid team, are going to try and keep space here. It seems Montevallo is going to try and do maybe a little dive here with the Daredevil. Daredevil being a really good, solid pick normally. And so we'll see what they're able to output here.
Montevallo switched off of the Angela to go a rogue route. So I guess they are committing more towards the dive.
Yep, but it seems that their dead pool switched to support pool. So we're now having 3-1-2, but instead the 3 being the healers. They're trying to counter possibly the sustain that Shaq offers, and they're able to get a pick on both tanks, allowing for RIT to really fall, but Rocket's going to try and counter ult combined with Hudie. It might just be enough. Unfortunate as the rest of RIT goes down. It was a solid effort, but just not enough. Montevallo coming up with 3 ults here. In comparison, only 1 from RIT Orange. We'll see how they play this. If Montevallo plays this smart, they continue to tempo, and RIT is not able to get any more. Coming up with RIT Astrid, about to get her Us Against the World ult. Our K9 going counter Daredevil into the opposing Daredevil. We'll see who ends up getting the win.
Blade 51
solid
gets
Blade 51 ult. Unfortunate, no picks there. And followed by a Montevallo support ult. So now RIT's looking to possibly keep up and sustain. Astrid pops ult. It's just not enough for your Hudie to stay up, unfortunately. Another rogue ult by Montevallo, keeping up that high-intensity damage and pressure. 2 picks on RIT Orange. RIT Orange now forced to back up, possibly, or just die on point. Yep. And down goes RIT continuously. Montevallo playing that really smart. Now having 2 numbers on ults in comparison with RIT's 2 coming up. We'll see. They're evenly matched, so to speak. Obviously, Montevallo keeping the support output up, but meaning their support ults come less frequently. Now let's see it. Can RIT clinch it? RIT attempting to respond. Back ult by Montevallo Sharky. Solid picks, solid overall usage. It's just devastating to RIT. And it looks like Montevallo's possibly going to secure this round. Blade 51, I don't think he has enough time to portal. I think this is just an unfortunate RIT loss, but a really good showcasing of what Montevallo is capable of. This is really getting me pumped up. This game's really exciting. I'm curious to see who comes up on top, and this is only the first game. If every game is just like this, we might be in for a really good showing. Shaq XD404 going Thor now, with K9 choosing to do the triple against Montevallo as well, but instead going an Ultron. It seems Hudi, though, wants to kind of keep that damage pressure and also really good ult gain with Moon Knight. So we'll see how Montevallo responds when they start fighting. So far, they've been keeping up pretty good. Montevallo keeping one Gambit ult in response, of course, to RIT's Gambit. It's possible, though, that Montevallo tries to tempo with Gambit ult, leading them down with ults, but possibly securing the points for a good amount of percentage. We'll just have to wait and see. It seems Montevallo going for another portal play. Last time it actually worked pretty well for them, so if they're able to place this right, and it's perfect. It's just perfect. Two supports right off rip. Montevallo has RIT in shambles right now. Without any healers, they're just left to kind of die or possibly fall back. Yep. That was actually a really good play by Montevallo. They didn't even have to use an ult for that. They just, one portal, disrupted the entire flow. We'll see how RIT responds afterwards. Just keeping a neutral between main.
Gambit ult is ready on both teams, however,
Both
Rogue
teams
ult
with
might
Gambit.
be close to steal.
If they're able to pick off the Rogue, then it gets no usage, but just not enough. Gambit ult in response to a Strange ult. Good, smart play. Unfortunately, RIT's Blade goes down. Hudi goes down in RIT. And it seems that Montevallo just has the better spread, really. Keeping RIT really at their own spawn. Now, a strong team like Montevallo knows they cannot keep too high into spawn, otherwise at that point they're just throwing. So they're backing up to just regroup, reconvene. They're going to have to try and keep a good level head with only one ult in comparison to RIT's 3. But Sharky possibly getting a second ult here. Blade popping, getting 3 picks.
Canceling the Cloak and Dagger ult.
Really good picks by Blade 51. Really good picks. Half canceling the ult as well. That was a surprise showing that was just not expected. We'll see how Montevallo tries to counteract the good push that RIT has brought. RIT really needs to hold progress here. 73 down. That's a little rough. Letting the Devil out by Sharky. Last time he did this, really good picks on his end, and it seems he's going to continue that trend of getting solid picks. Rocket, though, able to pick him through Astrid's ult, solid placed ult, pushing all the way through, allowing RIT to constantly get picks, remain the tempo. Overall, only suffered 1 pick into the devastating loss of 4 from Montevallo. Overall, keeping that tempo up, this is exactly what we need to see from RIT if they want to win this game. Montevallo coming up to 2 ults here, almost getting a Gambit ult and another 4th ult with Rogue. They're going to try and get high ground here. Smart play. Possibly an Eye of Agamotto play by the Kinda from Montevallo. Pushing in with Montevallo's Larutu. Combination with Monstro W Rogue ult. How will RIT respond? RIT just gets 2 picks, 1 support, 1 DPS down. K9 still around as Ultron, unfortunately getting picked, leading to a big stagger that might play really well for Montevallo. RT has to do something soon. The percentage is counting down. They're seeing Blade 51 trying to keep the front end while Shaq XD404 looking for a side pick. 2 Gambit ults. And a Thor and Agamotto. 2 picks out of it so far. Really good showing. Unfortunately, Blade 51 goes down, but kinda gets a solid ult. Countered by K9's Ultron ult. And it might just be what RIT needs to secure the point. 3v1 now. Sharky holding points. Danny Phantom protecting him, but it was just not enough. Too much pressure. K9 trying to keep that up now, possibly getting a pick for the stagger. But nothing. Let's see how Montevallo responds. Possibly a portal play? Yes, indeed. Montevallo portal play. RIT needs to be ready for this portal play. RIT countering with a bit of their own. Sharky low. The supports from Montevallo falling, unfortunately. Only 1, but they still have 2. And they're able to get an RIT support down. 1 support from Montevallo falls. 3 from RIT falls. It's left upon K9 to kind of try and stall here, but it's just not enough. Rocket Rack being the only saving grace, but no. It's enough, and Montevallo secures game 1. Really good portal play, really good ult usage. They're just keeping up the solid powerhouse that they are. I mean, I can't complain. These are good competitors. How can you be upset for people just being good? That's unfortunately the case that we see here today.
Yeah. Montevallo really played well together as a team, comboing their ults and just staggering the supports very well. So
yeah, you know, RIT is unfortunately the ult usage just seems to be a little bit worse. That Montevallo is able to take impact, and Montevallo's insane portal plays. I have to say these are really catching us both for a doozy. I can't. RIT cannot respond to these portal plays, and I think that's what's costing us really solid fights.
Yeah.
If Montevallo is able to keep going with these portals uncontested, RIT might just keep getting these heartbreaking losses, unfortunately. We're going to have to try and plan around this. The moment the games start, RIT now needs to have their head on a swivel, prepared for a possible strange play off the bat.
I'm very curious on what their bans are going to be, because their Rogue and Daredevil dive was really strong for Montevallo, and RIT just didn't have anything to counter it. They tried triple support, but yet not enough sustain.
It was just not enough.
Now, going to next game, it seems to be Midtown Convoy. So let's just see what the bans are.
Let's assume nothing yet, but we'll see how RIT can respond. You know, a lot of strong picks on Montevallo's end. Maybe they might try to take away Strange altogether. I mean, if this is just a really strong Strange player, I mean, that's not too far-fetched. Getting rid of the portal, forcing only dive players to really be an option for stall.
Yeah.
And we'll hop right into it. As we see right now, Montevallo banning the Phoenix, saving the Gambit. Two strong plays so far. Gambit being a really good overall pick on both sides. But Montevallo, of course, just clinching it out a little bit more. It seems RIT wants to get rid of the Elsa. Strong player this meta. She's been dominating, able to completely take away an entire team, really. The mag save. Now we have a mag save for Blade 51, it seems. Looks like we'll try and see what RIT's able to really output with the Magneto. We saw that, you know, Montevallo really didn't want them to have this Magneto, so I'm really curious how Montevallo will now respond. It seems Montevallo might want to do the Groot Knight play that RIT is a bit unaware of. They perhaps might be able to get this completely under the radar. It seems Montevallo still keeping up the triple support is kind of the idea, I think. With RIT possibly only responding 2-2-2. Okay. Interesting ban so far. Obviously, Montevallo keeping the Rogue. Strong combination between the two. Rogue, with the combination of Gambits, able to keep up sustain. Her ult's just able to disrupt everyone completely. It just throws RIT really down for a doozy.
Yeah, I do think the Rogue and Gambit team up is really strong and is just able to keep Rogue up for such a long time, especially when she's in against 5 people. Now, Orange did not ban either Gru or Moon Knight, so they might have to worry about the combo of the ults.
Yep.
However, they do have a Gambit player, so hopefully they are aware of the ult and they track it. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, Gambit's going to be needed to play here if he's open, of course. And it seems Montevallo, in congruency with the Groot Knight. Oh, changing it up, actually. No Groot Knight. Just raw Moon Knight, having Magneto placed with combinations of the team-up that Gambit provides might be really good on their offensive end. As Montevallo has one advantage being that Rogue. That Rogue is just really disruptive, especially when she can steal any ability, giving that slight edge if played correctly.
Montevallo keeping the triple support, while Orange sticking with the classic 2-2-2.
We're trying to go hella name. It seems RT Orange is trying to go hella Namor here. The team up, also a really good, strong standing team up. The anti-heal possibly being what we need to disrupt the the massive amount of heals that triple support offers. If K9's able to place it correctly, he can just shut down support ults completely. And as we start, we see the neutral.
Now, I don't think Montevallo is playing much high ground, so maybe RT Orange is able to utilize this, and they do. They get the first early pick on two of the supports.
Only one support now for Montevallo. Another support down. Cutie goes down, but the trade for a support and another tank, it's just worth it. Now RIT being completely up in convoy. Montevallo possibly needing to maybe portal play early or not. Yep. The bread and butter of Montevallo, it seems.
They're running
going to try and separate them
as well. Triple tank, triple support. Let's see how this plays out.
You're absolutely right. Possibly for continued stall. ShackXZ taking advantage of an isolated...
on both Gambits.
Oh, wow.
2 supports down.
2 supports down.
K9 is also down. 3 supports down is just the tanks. Let's see if RT can clean up.
It just sees that the only support remaining is, Astrid and the Gambit on Montevallo. Seems, but he was able to escape.
Montevallo switched back to the 2-1-3. And Orange is just having a strong push. Let's see if they can keep this all the way through.
Cannot underestimate the Hella Namor team up. It's just way too strong, especially with that just anti-heal. With proper communication, one-shots a player completely. Let's see, Montevallo attempting to respond.
Cutie gets early pick on the Moon Knight.
Now Montevallo down on numbers.
And down on their only DPS, so it could be very hard for them to get a pick here.
Right now, it just seems they're trying to keep that stall. And fortunately, it doesn't work as well as RIT's counter, because RIT's able to get in 2 supports, 3 support. Oh, wow. And it's just not enough by Montevallo. It seems that RT might have found their solid composition to combat Montevallo's really big sustain. Montevallo forcing Danny Phantom off the other support and into the role of Punisher. It looks like Montevallo will attempt one last chance to stop RIT. 3 ults being played. 4 ults, 5. Wow, this is going to be a really big game winner. The fight for this point rages on. Blade 51, possible good pick, but it gets absorbed completely by their Montevallo mag.
Both Gambits go down. RIT Orange gets 2 picks.
If they're able to continue, point is secured. Yep.
Yep.
Montevallo forced to just back up or just die so they can reconnect, regroup, and attempt to go at RIT once again. Really, really dangerous for, oh, unfortunately, as I was trying to say, very dangerous for the Punisher. He gets picked, leaving them really staggered for a couple seconds. Those seconds might come into play really later.
Both teams are coming up with 1-0 each. And both these ults could be like game winning.
Yeah.
So
if placed right, Montevallo can completely shred with that Punisher ult. So can Shaq. We'll see the
Astrid
performance.
goes down very early from the Moon Knight.
Leaving RIT Orange with only 1 support. This is not good. Not ideal. You don't want to be in this position as RIT.
However, RIT Orange gets another pick back.
Strong showcase by Shaq XD404's really good Thor. He's just been bruising and attempting to disrupt. Montevallo popping Emma ult, but RIT responding with a Thor ult. And it's more than enough for Montevallo to kind of take advantage.
2 go down on both sides. Let's see if...
Now an even match game. Let's see. Seems Montevallo is able to keep up more damage, though. Leaving RIT falling back. Need to regroup now. It's going to be a full match. 6v6. Montevallo coming up with 5 ults here in comparison to RIT's 4. If RIT plays this right, they don't have to worry too hard. Montevallo trying to shake things up with a Moon Knight ult. Does not get any picks. Displaces, but nothing too solid. Looks like RIT possibly looking for an ult. In response,
they get 1 pick.
Combination.
Maybe 2. No, Mag pops ult.
Mag pops ult, trying to respond to RIT Blade XD. It's just not enough. It's just not enough.
Equal trades on both sides. But RIT Orange,
despite having the numbers in the ults, coming out a bit short. Leaving Shaq XD really just fighting for his life at this point on the start.
However, Orange is able to come back faster. And they're able to capture point. Both
Solid
sides.
plays by both sides. Really, this is an intense match. 2 minutes still left on the board.
Emma ult early to start the fight.
Emma
shaking things up
able
and
to get a
pick.
solid support pick.
Gambit goes down.
RIT, good response. 1-1. Let's see who will come out the better. With RIT picking up yet another support. If they can keep up the tempo, they might just run it all the way through. Montevallo only up 3 now. They possibly have 1 more push to try and stop RIT from securing. As they attempt this last push, can they make it in time? Yes.
2 ults go down from Orange.
Asher getting a good pick
down
on their DPS. And of course, the RIT K9 still putting good pressure on the backline. Completely uncontested.
And
leaving just
seems
pick after pick for a solid RIT 3-point collection. We'll see how Montevallo tries to respond with their own push, possibly getting more time if they play it strong. RIT has to be aware Montevallo could shake things up still with a portal play at the start.
Now, I do think this game, Orange has been managing their ult economy better, as they always have at least a similar amount of ults, if not more, than compared to Montevallo, and they are able to just get more value out of it.
Absolutely. It's really curious to see how Montevallo will try and respond. Going actually with RIT's Hella Namor, they're going to try and completely do the same, which I can't blame them. Really strong team up, really strong picks able to be gained in combination with, you know, Cloak and Dagger and Gambit, 2 S-tier supports still to this day. Where they diverge, though, initially, is the in comparison to RIT's Thor, Montevallo will push out the Deadpool, tank pool. Really good, really good option. I can't complain. That bubble disrupts an entire team. If RIT is not careful, they can be caught completely off guard, and end up just getting picked up way too early. Let's see if the Deadpool is really what makes the difference. Deadpool attempting to get some off angles here from Montevallo. If he's able to secure a clear pick, it might be really big for a Montevallo push. And Blade 51 managing to gain the high ground and piercing the back line of Montevallo as the rest of RIT continues, keeping them at bay, keeping them pressed back, not giving really Montevallo an inch of space to work with. Seems we might be running into some technical difficulties on our end.
Yeah.
The game is frozen. So far, we've been seeing a really strong, response from RIT after that devastating domination loss. So far, Montevallo has yet to really kind of get a good, hard response. And if RIT is able to keep up the performance, RIT might just clinch out the convoy win and leading things to 1-1, possibly trying to give them a bit of the edge on convergence, maybe.
Yeah. And it seemed the team has disconnected. But I will say,
seems Netty's trying to stop this game from happening.
Yeah.
Never seen this issue before. Netty really doesn't want a competitive play. EOMM agents, everyone. EOMM agents. They're out there. They must be feared. Guang's finest. We're back again, though. All right, we'll start to go into a breakdown of, some personalities from RIT Orange's nice, solid roster. I personally know, Shaq XD404. He's been really teaching me how to play solid tank output. Really good player overall on the off tank.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
And
he's been giving a good performance with Thor.
Of course.
We're back in. Sounds good.
All right. The game seems to be back on. And we'll just see where it goes from here.
Get ready for another intense showing. I think things should be good soon.
Nope.
All right, the match is about to continue shortly. Are you excited? Because I am. And we continue as if nothing left off. RIT continuing to keep the pressure, but this time Montevallo trying to, keep a good spacing between their entire group. Not trying to get any picks too much here, but unfortunately, Blade 51 just gets another support pick, leaving Montevallo going it down with no heals, less heals. It's just not enough to keep up. Again, RIT just not allowing an inch of space, taking any angle they can to ensure that Montevallo is not gaining anything. Montevallo trying to do a bit of a high ground advantage, which is able to work out really well for them.
Yeah. They fought and fully secured high ground, and now RIT Orange just crumbles a little bit.
RIT Orange trying to just stall at this point, yep, and that's all they can do. Montevallo is now, gotten out of that little clinch they had on their spawn, allowing for a more diverse map play, giving RIT a bit of showcase that they're not willing to just stand there and take it.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
We'll see how RIT responds, though. Trying to keep some defensive pressure. Shaq XD404, Blade 51 in the front lines. Shaq XD probably looking for a kidnap here. Missing, unfortunately. Kinda looking for a good pick as well.
The Deadpool,
Deadpool
all goes
popped
down.
ult on the back line. Hudie
Equal
goes
trade.
down. K9 getting their Sharky.
Gets
K9
two.
another 2.
And the
K9
third one.
uncontested in the back line.
Wow. K9 just swept everything up, kills both supports, and then Montevallo just crumbles.
Showing the full force of Namor. Possibly looking for an ult here. In the hands of a really good player, Namor is devastating. Headshots being incredibly lethal.
Gambit all goes down for Montevallo.
Let's see,
RT Orange
does
doesn't
RIT
quite have a support ult, so they are able to get one pick.
Montevallo keeping that good pressure, ensuring RIT can't come back.
And then the mirror Gambit all goes down. A Thor.
Unfortunate, not enough from RIT.
RT is able to get one pick, however, they just
Able to
crumble.
try and stall, but RIT just crumbling. The ult placements of Montevallo was just stronger for this first point, and they will continue to push on to the second point. We're now coming in 2 to 3 ults compared to RIT. If played correctly, Montevallo can still keep up the pressure with only 2, forcing RIT to possibly use 2 for 1.
Montevallo really utilizing the high ground as they see the true value in it. Let's see if they're able to get any early picks from it.
Kind of trying to keep the front line against RIT's entire team. Able to constantly hold. But K9 looking for that solid pick. Sharky goes in for the first.
Hello goes down both sides. However, RT Orange does have a support also able to sustain more, and they just sweep everything up.
Solid pickings. But like I said, RIT Orange was forced to use 2 in the price of only Montevallo's 1. The board showcases that Montevallo is still down in ult, unfortunately, but was able to spend 2. That's the caveat of running a Deadpool. You can get your ult really quick, but man, if you don't use it and you die, it's just not available. And as we see RIT trying to counter with their own high ground. Possibly strong pick
Namor
from Montevallo.
Going
Yes.
down early. Both Namors, or Gambits, sorry.
Now a Namor going down, but in congruency, the support, the
And
backline,
the whole
RIT's
team.
able to just keep that pressure, keep the positioning really good. Only one few mistake from their Gambit, but RIT was able to completely overwhelm Montevallo's entire line. A sacrifice that was worthy and was able to kind of stall more time. That's really valuable that Montevallo really needs. Montevallo shaking things up, going completely around. Trying to flank. Get some good positioning. This could shake RIT up as they might not know how to respond to different positioning.
Both teams coming up with 3 ults. We see K9
Both
very low.
Cloak and Daggers going down, but K9 falling to the Gambit, leading Montevallo up, but, you know, RIT still strong on the front line, able to get 2 more picks, leading with a match of 4 and 4. Forcing Montevallo really to back up as the pressure is still there. RIT Orange's Blade 51 and Shaq XC being really oppressive on the front line, really just getting those solid picks you really need from the tanks. Not just to absorb damage, but to get that solid idea.
Now Orange is going to have to fall back or die here. However, going to next fight, they do have almost all their ults compared to Montevallo's 4.
We'll see. Montevallo's Cloak and Dagger might be a strong way to tempo this. If they're able to get 2 picks off here, RT might be at a huge disadvantage. Deadpool getting an ult as well. Montevallo about to get a 5th ult in Namor. 10 seconds left on the board.
And the Namor goes
Gambit
down early.
responding into the Cloak and Dagger. Deadpool ulting. Shaq XD404 still stalling. K9 still stalling. Magneto trying to get a pick. Gets
And
it on
he
rack.
does. However, the Astrid is still down the ground.
Oh,
They are able to get
Astrid
2.
able to get their support. RIT
Doro goes down, gets
Magneto.
3, and
Holy.
it seemed that would be it for game 2. RT sweeps it.
Looks like RIT was able to just keep more pressure than Montevallo was really expecting. The Hella Namor team up being much better.
Yeah, I think RT really found their footing this game as they figured out their bans and they knew what type of comp they wanted to run.
They completely protected their side of the things. You know, obviously, as we talked before, possibly, Groot Namor or Groot Moon Knight from Montevallo, but in the face of a good Gambit, that's just non-existent. So, RIT was able to really push out the Hella Namor, forcing Montevallo to do the same. And just unfortunately, RIT was better. So now we're at a whopping 1-1. We'll see going into Convergence what the response is from Montevallo's unfortunate loss.
Now, RT's K9 had a really strong Namor. He was able to take so many high grounds and like angles and get the early pick.
He was able to actually get behind the entire Montevallo team, just getting pick after pick uncontested. An uncontested Namor is just really bad for any competitive team. As we saw, Montevallo just kept falling and falling, and they had no response. Can't let a Namor like that both get the back line and just get that space. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see a different change of pace from Montevallo. They might have to change the way they look at their bans now, as we see possibly RIT's bread and butter being Hella Namor, because it worked really well for the Convoy. And if RIT is able to secure first point on Convergence, it'll just be Convoy all the way, and they just continue to roll. So, Montevallo really needs to adjust and understand what their strengths is and what the weaknesses of RIT's game. Looks like we'll be going into Empire of Eternal Night for Central Park's Convergence map on Marvel Rivals. So, very interesting map here. Solid choice here. I personally do enjoy the map. It has a lot of off angles that any team can take advantage of. Particularly RIT, obviously, with the Namor pushing in from the backside. If Montevallo is not able to respond to that, it could be devastating for them. But if they're able to reverse that on RIT, who knows? They might come out on top. Got to give credit where credit's due. Montevallo's been good, putting up a really good game.
Yeah.
It's been pretty close on both sides, with RIT able to just secure longer and farther for a convoy. But obviously, Montevallo still keeping enough pressure that they're able to clutch up in domination. So we'll get a little combination of that with Convergence, and we'll see really who shines there.
Montevallo first game was really strong because they had the triple support, so they had the sustain to keep everyone up. But with Orange's Namor and Hella team up, the anti-heal's just way too strong for that.
Yep.
So maybe going to this game, we'll see either one of them get banned.
Yeah, Montevallo still had like a solid Deadpool, but it just wasn't enough. The front line, Shaq XD404, Blade 51, still just too oppressive on the front line. Not just holding it down on tank, but just really getting the nice picks that makes RIT in a comfortable position. As we drop into the game, we'll see the bans, see the pre-selections, and really understand the thought process behind everyone.
I see Montevallo is possibly going for another Groot Knight angle, and also they have a Rogue, which from their first game was really strong. However, they weren't able to fully utilize her the second game.
Absolutely. So it begs the question, will Montevallo still save the Gambit, or will they ban it? Well, of course, they ban the Phoenix, not wanting that completely anywhere near them. Gambit saved. Solid pick.
So
How
far,
does RIT respond?
the ban and save look very similar to what it was the past two. Saving the Magneto.
Good choice. Blade 51 has just been really oppressive. It seems that Montevallo might have the advantage in Strange, where RIT Orange has the advantage in Magneto. But we'll continue to see this convergence. They ban out, of course, Loki. Makes sense. Gambit Loki, too annoying. Just no one wants to deal with it. Completely understandable on RIT Orange's perspective. Another Star-Lord ban, interesting. I wonder if it's because RIT Orange have had in the past a strong Star-Lord that, Montevallo just does not want to deal with at all. Having like Star-Lord Punisher, Star-Lord, Mag, it just makes it really hard to kind of counteract that ult, so makes sense why they might try to ban it. A save on Daredevil, though. They might be going for the dive on Montevallo's side. Let's see how RIT Orange tries to respond with their own save for their own composition. No one banning out Hela or Namor, so the team up is still up.
The Punisher gets saved. However, they did save Magneto, so they do have to watch out for the Mag ult to counter.
And Rogue being the last ban. Curious how Montevallo will feel about that. Banning out the Namor. Hela Namor no longer existing.
However,
Which-
I do think that's still fine for Orange, as they went to this probably not even going for a Hela Namor comp.
That
They
is entirely
saved
fair.
Punisher, and it seems they're going Bucky, maybe Punisher.
Montevallo possibly going Groot Knight? Interesting. Now Rocket Rack will really be put to the test if they continue to do so. But no, it seems it'll just be another Mag v Mag with Gambit v Gambit. And of course, Cloak v Cloak. Just 3 solid picks all around.
Montevallo probably not going dive just because they're on defense first. However, maybe we'll see some dive action when they're attack.
Montevallo probably going to try and get some off angles with Sharky. Sharky being a strong Moon Knight player through the entire encounters that RIT has been going through. We'll see how he tries to adjust his angles here, possibly getting solid picks on the backline if RIT is not too careful.
Now, the support and tank comps I feel have been very similar throughout the game, so
Yeah,
it
without a
seems
doubt.
it's just a battle of the DPS.
You have to stop.
RIT Orange only deviating with Thor in comparison to Montevallo's Deadpool, so we'll see
So,
if that continues to
Moon
make a
Knight
difference.
really deep, however, he does get out.
Neutral play still fighting through main. RIT continues to press forward. Sharky possibly looking for an off angle. Monster OW, solid Deadpool gameplay. Getting grabbed.
Huge pull.
Unfortunately, K9 was not able to capitalize on that, actually getting picked himself. Showcasing that, Montevallo is really a force to be reckoned with. You can't just pull and expect a free kill.
RT Orange going from the side. This is
Getting-
not very common to see, but let's see how they play it out.
Montevallo, of course, going to take advantage of the fact free ult charge for their Moon Knight. Close quarters is just not great against Moon Knight. Moon Knight coming up with ult here, possibly looking for a placement, but Moon Knight falls
Early
down to Blade 51. Blade 51 still solid on the front end. Blade 51, Blade 51, Blade 51!
Blade
As we
51 goes
consistently see Blade
insane.
51 getting 5 picks against Montevallo.
The Deadpool is a bit staggered. Let's see if he's able to get out.
Montevallo possibly trying to contest. No, but it's not enough. Blade 51, a solid player, a solid picks, just consistently hitting every single pick you really need to do as Magneto. This is what separates the good from the greats.
Both teams are actually RT Orange is coming in with 4, maybe 5 ults compared to Montevallo's.
Honestly, I would have to say a full 6. I really wouldn't be surprised. Montevallo only having 5.
Yeah.
Maybe, no, still only 4 actually. RT just free to kind of, experiment and just really displace with just any ult really. Montevallo trying to take advantage of the Moon Knight.
Is
with
able to get
Blade
a
51
pick.
going down. And Cutie. But K9 getting a good pick on the back line. K9 unfortunately going down to flanks. Shaq seemingly needs to back up with Astrid and his other healer, Rocket Rack, as, 3's down. It does not look good for RIT right now. But we still have time, so, nothing to worry. Let's see. RIT K9 trying to get a good off angle. Low, unfortunately. If he's not too careful, he'll get picked and just leave the entire team staggered. Shaq possibly looking for an ult. No. Cutie ult. And he gets completely bursted by Valo's Sharky. And then Valo following suit with their own punny ult. Just too much and not enough from RIT. The unfortunate part, though, for Valo is they are now down with only 2 ults. But they're able to get a good pick on Shaq XD404, so puts them in a not a good space. You know, we have 5 players on the board, can't really push too hard, have to wait, time is wasting. Still, the initial run-through that we got at the start, possibly allowing us for a bit more leeway.
Now the Moon Knight is coming back really close to the ult as Orange was playing very tight. And let's see if they can combo any of those 2 ults.
Possibly looking for a mag combo,
Which
they're
they
able
were
to
able
get at
to.
least 1 pick, giving K9 his
The
ult
Moon Knight
right
ult goes
back.
down and kills Astrid through the Cloak and Dagger roll, and
A
RC just
strong showcase
falls
by Montevallo. You know, that Cloak and Dagger, really just a really good ult. Larudu, solid placement. RT was unable to pick her off, and the sustain was too much, allowing for Montevallo to get the picks they really need. RT Orange having the advantage before in the ults, now completely uneven with Montevallo. It's just shocking, really, to showcase how strong Montevallo have been as a competitor. Let's see how RIT attempts to respond.
Monster goes down very early. Let's see if RT Orange is able to capitalize off this early pick.
Absolutely. Coming with, Punisher and Gambit ults, they might try to pop for that continued tempo. Shaq XD 404 in the front as Strange. Looks like we're running a double shield.
Both teams popping both ults. However, Punisher goes down early, so is Astrid.
3 ults being popped by RIT to try
Shaq
to secure the
actually lands an ult. And they are able to successfully capture second point.
Thank God.
Might be a good time to stop them.
Well, so the downside of this is Montevallo is coming up with possibly 2 to 3 ults. They're now switching to Angela. Strong pick. If she's able to just pull you into those solid sides, left or right, you're going to be in there for a bad day. Free picks, really.
They also have an interesting Spider-Man pick. Maybe they're trying to go for a pull off the map.
Double pull from Montevallo. Interesting. I don't know if this is going to be worth, but, really good players are able to just pull these strange, unique compositions that are unorthodox and not really seen often. But in competitive play, anything's possible. With a solid possible...
Blade ults because he got pulled off and he's able to get one. Astrid switched to the Invis, which could be really good because this is a really tight angle and can get a lot of value off
Larutu,
of.
classic Cloak and Dagger ult. Let's see how RIT attempts to respond. Unfortunately, RIT's Astrid just gets popped like a balloon, with the rest of RIT falling down. Larutu just showing a strong showcase of Cloak and Dagger. It's just been an S-tier character from the start of the game to now. The longest ult in the game, continued sustain, and in a good player is able to just really capitalize off of these blinds, the heals, the fades. Just too much for RIT at certain points.
Psylocke ult is
now
coming
going
up.
Psylocke. Flanks still trying to keep playing the solid
Close.
Spider-Man.
For a Psylocke ult is unable. They are able to actually pick off with Hudie's assist.
And Angela ulting, trying to combination with Magneto, not getting anything too solid.
Shaq lands a
landing
massive ult.
Strange eye. Holy.
Wow.
Shaq
And going
XD
for a
trying
portal trap.
to portal trap
But
to
I
make sure,
don't even know if they need it.
and it's just
and they secure
enough
it.
for RIT to secure 3 points.
RT Orange is playing together really well. I'd say together they're just glowing.
Yeah. It's forcing Montevallo to really think outside the box. You know, I did not expect that Angela or Spider-Man, but they really went for it, and they actually almost had some solid picks, but RT was just able to kind of hold on much longer than they really anticipated and hoped for, you know, allowing them to take advantage of when you have a Spider-Man, you just have like a DPS missing from time to time, giving, you know, RT just that solid edge. Or Angela, you know? It's just those air units, those mobility units that are just there for those one side pulls. If they're not able to land them, it's devastating.
Now, going into defense for RT, Shaq is on the Groot, which is always a very strong pick, and Montevallo might be going for a dive angle, but they only have one Spider-Man.
Possibly for a Spider-Man pull, Spider-Man flank. No,
just
going
a
back
swap.
to Winter Soldier. Both sides picking Groot at the start. It seems... No?
Oh, wow.
Montevallo actually switching off the Groot Knight. Possibly because they know that Gambit's just annoying to deal with when you try to Groot Knight. But, you know, RT Orange still staying on the Groot and Groot Knight, actually. But I don't know how we'll try to maintain. I think... Oh,
Montevallo going for a classic portal.
their bread and butter. It's been disrupting RIT the entire game. If they're able to get a really solid pick here, it'll throw them off. Let's see how RIT responds. The back line
Able to get an early pick.
showcasing to Montevallo that, you know, maybe it was only that one instance, that unknown instance of an aggressive play that they're, you know, RIT's just not used to dealing with. But once you start to get the repeated of each play, it just makes it too much.
Both tanks swap on Montevallo, and I do think Orange had a big advantage with the Moon Knight against the portal, as you can just throw down the border and you instantly get tons of value.
Absolutely. It looks like a mirror match between K9 and Flanks. We'll see who comes out on top. Both teams still in the neutral. Nothing happening too crazy yet. Just stall after stall. RIT really gaining the advantage for the time loss. Monster OW looking for a possible ult here. Upgrading his character, you know, trying to get a flank here. I see the vision. If he's able to, you know, pinpoint their backline, Astrid or Rocket Rack, it's devastating. A Groot ult. Larutu, another classic Cloak and Dagger ult. It might just be what Montevallo needs to win the first point. Blade 51 getting a solid pick on the Gambit. Trying to hold as much as he can against the unrelenting force of Montevallo. But a solid possible Moon Knight ult by RIT Orange.
Rocket switching to a port, so we see Shaq XD on the support. And they are able to take back the objective with them only capturing 1/3.
It seems, you know, RIT is able to just adapt extremely well to whatever Montevallo is throwing at them. You know, especially in this high intense pressure where Rocket, the support player, is now on tank. Shaq XD, the tank player, now in support. With no showcase of any Gambit, this might be trouble for RIT, but also maybe not.
Gambit ult goes down. Montevallo is up a lot of ults, and they are able to just
It's just
pick
ult
everyone
after
out.
ult, much needed in order to just completely overwhelm RIT. RIT left initially at the disadvantage with the role swap, but, you know, this play just might be what we needed, you know. Wasting 2 ults for first point, not the worst trade in my opinion. K9 trying not to get hard staggered here.
And he is able to live that dive.
As we see Montevallo using Groot and Deadpool still. Solid showcasing on their front line. K9 looking for a solid ult. Montevallo, of course, knowing how to counter this completely, trying to stack up,
However,
but it's devastating.
they stack into the Moon Knight and they just all get obliterated.
Completely bursted. Can they find the... Yes, they can.
And the stagger
The
on the
answer was
side.
yes. Staggered in their spawn. The good thing for Montevallo, though, being close by, not having to worry really about coming too far.
I think Groot's just standing to try to farm the support ults.
Interesting
And
play, but if
almost
he
goes
if he
down.
keeps getting too much damage, he'll just get picked. Oh, but Flank's getting a really good pick on K9. Shaq going for the trade. Nothing though, nothing. Unfortunately, leaving RIT at a disadvantage, 5-6. Ults being available for Montevallo 3 to RIT Orange's 3. 4 on RIT Orange now. Cutie popping the Moon Knight ult. Now looking back to Montevallo, how they respond. No picks so far, so Montevallo is in good position, good standing. They pop the Deadpool ult. K9 trying to get Sharky, the Daredevil. Looking in good standing, though, for still RIT.
Kenon gets two, so RT has a chance to stabilize. Blake goes in with the Magneto and gets one.
Really good pick on the tank. Now, just, you know, it all falls like dominoes. RIT just keeping that pressure up, keeping the damage, making sure that, you know, Montevallo has no room to breathe.
Montevallo is coming in with more ults, so let's see if RT is able to make it equal.
Yeah, kind of hold things down, and they are.
really
Asher
pick.
getting a really good pink on flanks. Now, Montevallo being down one.
Three
The combination
ults,
of
able to get two.
Montevallo ults, but is RIT able to continue to hold? The numbers going to Montevallo, and unfortunately, they all fall down. RIT Orange down for the count. Montevallo pushing up, you know, popping in 2-3 ults for that, but still maintaining a really good push now. RIT Orange, in response, has 2 ults. Coming up on possibly a third. If they play this well, they can completely get back the point and waste more time, allowing for a solid win. We'll see the neutral. Deadpool ult with Larutu. Larutu solid ult.
Astrid ult goes down. Let's see if
Shaq
the Thor ult goes down.
with
Going
Thor.
for the and the Psylocke,
Picks,
both
but the
sides.
flanks triple, 4 quadra kill, quintuple, and it's just enough for them to get the second point. Solid flank salt. You know, that Psylocke was just able to really pick off the entirety of RIT Orange completely. Solid performance by Montevallo. Montevallo coming up with 1 ult in comparison, RIT coming up with 2. If they can continue to stall, it might just be enough, but Montevallo is just not backing down here. Let's see. If their Gambit is smart about things, he's able to get his ult really quick, keeping the tempo and keeping the press. As we see Sharky looking for a dive. And combined with Flanks. Flanks not really able to secure anything.
Shaq
Cutie.
forcing him off the angle and backing up to his team.
Cutie looking for a good pick. Able to get it on the Deadpool. And the pick. And K9 also taking advantage of the chaos, able to get their Gambit. And RIT continues to push and flatten the rest of Montevallo for this. Kind of holding
Psylocke
off
stagger again.
solid ults as well.
The Psylocke seem to have swapped to Spider-Man. Now, Montevallo does not have much time here. They are coming in with 3, maybe 4 ults. However, RT Orange is close to matching that.
The first one to fall on Montevallo might need to Strange Portal. Same goes to RIT Orange.
Groot goes down, but instant cleanse from Rocket.
But a Gambit
ult
ult
goes
from
down.
Montevallo, popping Blade 51 to try and get a pick. Nothing.
They
Cutie's
are
able to continue to get to flanks. Sharky, kinda. Shaq XE404, kinda. Shaq XE404 on Gambit. But Larutu still keeping the stall
Portal goes
with
down.
enough time for Monster OW to pop the Strange ult, which might just be enough to what Montevallo needs
Thor
to keep
goes
pushing.
down and gets 1 Cloak and Dagger.
Sharky,
K9 goes in with the Daredevil, and they
Rocket getting their Gambit. K9,
are
K9,
able to clean
K9
up.
on a triple, and it's just enough. Montevallo has only 1 person up, and it's just not going to be enough to hold. And RIT Orange is able to secure this convergence win. Really good showcase by both teams. I'm really impressed with the performances on both teams. Montevallo really showcasing the hard strengths, hard pushes, but RIT Orange still able to adapt these times, these games. They're just able to see what Montevallo's throwing them and able to respond really well.
Yeah. RT, I think throughout these games have been improving their like teamwork really well. And Montevallo just unable to break through their defense and are just falling apart.
Yep, and I can't even they had good bans. Montevallo had solid bans on RT Orange, but RT Orange was just still able to hold on strong, still able to coordinate, keep the choke, keep the hold. It was just not enough, forcing in fact Montevallo to swap off, Strange into an unorthodox Groot and Deadpool. Strong showcase, don't get me wrong, but unfortunately just not enough for them.
Yeah. And
Curious just to see what's this next game mode. RIT Orange with a lead now, 2-1. If RIT Orange is able to secure another win, that'll be all. But could be interesting if Montevallo is able to come back, get a 2-2, leading for a really close game at the end. I'm excited either way, and I can't wait to see what the responses is from both sides.
yeah.
It seems we're continuing to just maintain like a break. Obviously, everyone needs to talk, needs a breather. Things need to be discussed, right? I don't blame Montevallo or IT at all for stopping right now to kind of assess things, go over what worked, go over what didn't, and really try to attempt next game to play to the strengths that will continue to win for either team.
Yeah. I do think during this downtime we should be able to talk about more about our players.
Yes. Shaq XD 404, my short king. On a good day, 5'4". What a guy.
Yeah.
Solid man. But Blade 51, now that's a hell of a man. Another short king. Still taller than Shaq though.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Blade, solid picks. We saw, the quad, or was it the quintuple kill by Blade? It was insane. I was completely shocked. But Montevallo, of course, trying to showcase their own prowess with, Flanks' what was it? The Psylocke, of course.
Yep.
Yes, there it was. The Psylocke getting really good picks on RIT Orange, throwing them for a loop. Is completely catching them off guard. We'll see what the end result is for both of teams.
Yeah.
I'm very excited though. These games have just been good. These are not bad games to be upset about. These are not clear losses from both sides or clear wins. These are hard fought, really, throwing everything anyone possibly can. Little room for error, which allows for the best of play to come out. Any small mistake just can cost you the entire thing. So both teams are attempting to take advantage of that, and they're doing so very well. RIT Orange just able to come out on top just by a little bit, but just enough, leading us for that 2-1.
Yeah. I think Orange is also all players are having pretty equal impact. Sometimes you have people who have their shining moments and just break through the defenses. But I think overall everyone has an equal amount of impact and they're just doing their jobs, doing what they have to do to keep the team winning.
Shaq XD 404, landing a couple ults, but still taking an L on a lot of them.
Yeah.
What's up with that, huh? How's our response there, Shaq?
He may be short, but he stands up tall.
Not with the ults.
Not with the ults, but with the neutral, he is.
With
he
the
is
neutral, it
pretty
was
good.
what was a solid showcase of the Thor.
Yeah.
He did have to switch at a certain point, but still good performance. I have to say I'm really surprised with Montevallo's performance on showcasing the Angela and Spider-Man. You don't often see that. I don't often see that in a lot of organized or regular competitive play, especially on Empire. But when really good players are able to focus and get those picks, it really makes a difference. And they were able to for a time. In fact, with their Spider-Man forcing Blade 51 to just mag ult to completely keep the tempo of RT Orange. Unfortunately, it turned into a pick for RT Orange, but the idea was there. Any other tank, I think he would have just gotten a free pick. It's just unfortunate that Blade 51 had the ult. Without that ult, I think Blade 51 just dies.
Yeah.
good impact on both teams, really.
I think we should talk more about our DPS players, though.
Our DPS
Some
players.
more about that. I know K9 is from New York City, and that he's, um,
New York City, huh?
yeah, New York City, and that he's a Latino and a dog lover.
What do you know is about chopped cheese? What you know about a chopped cheese, Jeff?
The Aki way?
The Aki.
The Aki way. Of course. I know everything about
I
it.
love it the Aki way. You know, get me a Don Julio, a chopped cheese, and some Chinese.
Of course. And
I'm
we
just
can't
kidding. I'm
we
kidding,
can't
of
forget
course.
about Hudi,
Of
who
course.
is part of RT Valorant's team last semester.
Yes, which you know, is why his mechanical skill is there.
Yeah,
You know, solid output from Cutie.
showing
Really
off his
just
aim,
yeah,
really.
keeping the aim players on his roster really. We saw his Hella, we saw his Punisher, you know. We saw I think he went Bucky, right? Did he not?
He did go Bucky.
Yes, so it was a solid result from all three plays, but it just goes to show that these skills are transferable. You know, any
Yeah.
game can go to a different game. It's just the difference in how you play and how the game is.
Now, I do think the break might be close to coming to an end. We're gonna jump into the fourth match soon, and I guess we gotta wait to see what happens.
Let's possibly talk about our supports.
Yeah, our supports. One of them I have played with last semester, Rocket Raccoon.
Yes, and his gamut, really solid plays,
Very
able
strong.
to kind of combine the alts with either Hudi, you know, with either Shaq. I've seen just a lot of, you know, organization with that gamut alt, which it's a really strong alt. So
Yeah.
you really want to take any advantage you can to just steamroll completely. And of course, Montevallo is still strong, trying to counter gamut for gamut, but sometimes we see one side winning over the other, whether that be Montevallo or RIT. And will continue to do so in the next game.
Yeah.
Astrid actually having to step off initially because of Montevallo's good performance off the Cloak and Dagger onto the Invis. So it was very interesting.
Now, going to fourth game, it seems that it is Krakoa domination.
Ooh, now domination, it was Montevallo's really good holding. So this might be what it takes to kind of win the game. If RIT can showcase that they're just better on the domination and come back from the the unfortunate loss that was the first game, we will try to clinch and get that victory. But Montevallo's not going to lay down easy, as we see the first initial bans.
Now, what is interesting is that Montevallo does have someone at least hovering the Star-Lord, which in their past games they've banned, second ban. So maybe they might be trying to go for a Star-Lord, maybe a Star-Lord Gambit all combo.
It's entirely possible. It then forces Blade 51 to kind of really choose and make that ult much more sacred and scarce, because if he has two, he has to now watch out for. It becomes now who's ulting for who. And as we see, Montevallo banning out Shakiki 404's Thor, a very good oppressive force on RIT Orange's end. So it makes complete sense that Montevallo will not want any more of that. And of course, they're saving the Daredevil, which actually allowed them for solid combinations, solid picks, good oppression on the backline of RIT Orange. So we'll continue to see that going into Krakoa domination. In combination, with possibly a really good Strange ult or Strange Portal, could be game-changing, especially at the start. But RIT Orange has showcased that we are understanding of what Montevallo tries to do. We're understanding that they're going to try and do a portal play, and are better prepared for it, usually leaving Montevallo these times at a disadvantage. Montevallo responding to RIT Orange's bans with a Namor ban to get rid, of course, the Hella Namor. So now we'll see what both teams showcase.
Now, Shaq, since his door is banned, he is hovering Strange, so maybe he's going for a portal play, because I do know Shaq does play a lot of Emma.
This is true. But Montevallo, of course, still on the Strange, understanding that they have to come out swinging, they have to come out strong. even if RIT might expect it, if they change it just ever so slightly, it could be enough. And it seems Montevallo is also taking advantage, having a Star-Lord flanks a solid, strong DPS on their end, possibly giving out a good performance.
Montevallo also does seem to have a Jeff the Land Shark over Cloak and Dagger, but maybe that's just for the little speed boost at the beginning.
It could be the speed boost. It could be, you know, because RIT Orange was forced to play onto the Invis and Cloak and Dagger.
Wow, Orange is not running the Gambit, which
I
could be pretty interesting.
just noticed that the damage disparity might be a little significant.
Both teams going for a portal play.
Let's see who finds each other first. What?
They did find the team first,
Okay,
and
so
it would seem they're having a
both had the
battle of
same
the spawns.
idea, which is kind of hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's the first time I've ever seen something like this.
Yeah, I think now it's just a race of who can get to point first.
Yes, and
K9 a little lost,
going on the
but
complete back line.
he's got
But
the
going back
spirit.
on the portal, smart
Okay.
idea. I understood where he was trying to go with this, but you know, doing a complete 6v1 is just unwise. Montevallo able to get to point first, you know, trying to hold it on and get that early percentage that, you know, is just really needed to get secured dom points. Montevallo
able
Montevallo
to get the first
falling.
pick.
Shaq XD404, Blade 51, keeping that good oppressive power at the front.
In this
know,
low on point,
Laruto
does go down
unfortunate
from
falling
Blade.
to Blade 51. Blade 51 and Shaq XD404 just bullying on the front line with the assistance of Hudi and K9. It's just way too much for Montevallo at the start, and it was enough for us to kind of hold and continue to now defend. 25% given to Montevallo. Not, you know, not bad, but, you know, not too great if you're trying to come out too strong. And we'll see how Montevallo responds.
Rocket is back on the Gambit and very close to ult, while their Gambit's miles away. So maybe they're able to rip it early and get some picks.
Laruto coming with ult though, as well as Monster and Flanks. Sharky as well. Sharky getting the ult almost immediately. The closed
Cutie ult
spaces.
goes down.
Hudi responding
Cuts
first.
off the Strange. Let's see if
Is RIT
they
able
are
to take
unable to get the
advantage?
pick.
Unfortunately not. Sharky getting ult. Popping a really trying to get that pick. Not enough though. Unfortunately, the positioning was just better. The ult, unfortunately, on both sides, not really doing what was intended. But that's the blessing of the game.
Big
4
ult from
picks.
Shaq is able to get 3.
Combination
the
with
Magneto
Blade
ult.
51. Holy wafts.
And wow, they just sweep that up despite
Blade
Montevallo
51
popping
having his own
3
Wii Sports
ults.
music.
Now coming next fight, K9 is coming close to ult. We do see a Hulk pick from Montevallo, which is pretty interesting. Let's see if they're able to get much
Makes
value
sense
from
though,
it.
as at the front they're trying to be a little bit of a bruisers, a little bit of you know, getting through the shields.
Yeah.
Popping a combination ult by Montevallo, triple combination. Let's see what RIT is able to do to respond. Astrid popping ult, still surviving. Really good for RIT to hold and sustain.
Montevallo goes
Shaq
down one.
XD404 getting a
K9
solid
popping
pick on the
ult.
back line. K9 ulting, getting a solid pick on their tanks. Astrid getting a really good pick on the tank, and Hudi getting another pick on the DPS. This is really good for RIT, clinching and solidly holding the first point. Leaving Montevallo, you know, they have to just try and find an answer if they want to stay in the game.
No, RT Orange now is definitely aware of the portal play, so Montevallo can't just depend on that now to win the fights.
Absolutely.
Before you attack, get ready.
All right, and now we're back to see what RIT Orange and Montevallo kind of showcase here. And Possibly RT Orange making this a 2-0, but Montevallo I don't think are going to just lay down. They're going to come out swinging in this strong start, possibly doing another portal play or trying to just show
heavy
some
dive.
aggression power on the dive.
4, 3,
And also, the White Fox is finally in play. Let's see if this plays out good for them.
Yeah, they're really going fully on the offense for Montevallo. Another portal play by RT Orange, trying to showcase to Montevallo their, taste of their own medicine, really. If they're able to get a capture, nothing so far, but straight to point with RT Orange.
Yeah.
Montevallo a little separated on both ends, which might be enough for them to shake things up on RIT.
Hudie pops an ult. Astrid does go down early, so does Hudie. Venom fell off the map, and
Shaq getting a good pick on the Ruto.
Hulk almost down, but ults last second is able to pick off Shaq.
The fight for first point or second point is still really big. K9 trying to get a solid pick on the back line. Actually might secure for RIT Orange to get some percentage. But Montevallo not letting that happen, allowing their supports to really be oppressive here. But RIT Orange is still able to capture. Really good fight between both teams, but RIT Orange is just a little bit stronger. Now RIT Orange popping off with Shaq XD 404 on the thing to try and counter the complete dive that is Montevallo's entire roster.
3 go down. Blade
Blade
pops an
XD 404
ult.
looking for a pick, nothing
And
unfortunately.
lands it,
Hudie
but
going
not
down,
enough.
Blade 51 going down, Shaq XD 404 going down, Montevallo getting pick after pick after pick, able to get the percentage back, able to get the point back. Now showing RT Orange a reverse of what happened last point, with RT Orange only getting 23% and Montevallo trying to hold on.
RT Orange does a huge team swap. Blade is now on the Emma, so they have both tanks ready to peel at any time. And also, K9 is on the Daredevil, able to maybe get one while the rest of the team is distracted.
Absolutely. Sharky and Flanks getting really good combinations with the ult, as well as Mordred's completely oppressive White Fox ult. Something that I think RIT is just not anticipating for, not expecting. Montevallo time and time again showcasing a new strat, a new ability, something that they know how to do that RIT is just not prepared for. And it's just Montevallo's complete oppressive power showcased right now at this point. And they're continuing to do so. We'll see RIT Orange starting the fight with a Gambit ult, getting a pick on the Sharky by Astrid. And now the score is 5-5 with kinda getting a good pick on Rocket Rack.
Astrid's ult goes down, but is unable to sustain, and
It's just
the whole team just
not
goes down.
enough as Montevallo keeps that oppressive power up there with the Hulk, the flanks, the Sharky, too much. And it's just more stagger for RIT. Really not good, really not ideal. And without this, it might be the last play that RIT tries to pull out before the point is secured. We might be looking into a 1-1 with the last point, for the marbles, to kind of showcase if Montevallo's still kicking or if RIT Orange is going to still just close them off.
In for an ult, is able to get one, but
K9
so
able to
does
flanks.
Hudie go down.
5-5 right now. He needs another pick in order for RIT to get the advantage. No one clearly
Baby
dying
Hulk.
first. Master OW out of Hulk form. If RIT notices, it might be dangerous.
Astrid
Rocket
being
Rack
kept
keeping
alive
the
from
complete
Astrid.
other support up. Both supports still up. Blade 51, Hudie, K9 getting really good picks on the oppressive force. Now RIT is now in a strange position, a very dangerous position where Montevallo is about to secure 99%. RIT needs to hold until their own 99%, leaving Montevallo for possibly 2-3 fights. Who knows? We just have to see how Montevallo responds as they're continuing to keep that oppressive composition.
Montevallo is close to 3 ults. However, the Hulk is low. Astrid pops the ult, but gets cancelled. Rocket and Blaze all go down.
Trying to get a
Gets
solid pick.
2.
Blade 51 2, Hudie 1. Now really keeping a
Gets
solid
3.
hold. Another pick. Another pick. Both DPS
Back to
getting
back.
a solid pick. And it's just, RIT's keeping up that pressure, keeping up that force. But this is where Montevallo kind of showcases their true colors, their true form. In these hard-hitting moments, these clutch moments, they have to kind of showcase what they've done in the past, their, impressive abilities, their intellect. They just sometimes are able to clinch it further. And we're seeing a bunch of ults pop by both sides, with Montevallo securing 2 good picks, 3 good picks, 4 good picks on RIT Orange, and it's just enough for them to completely secure again. And I think that's it for this round. I don't think RIT Orange is going to be able to portal on enough in time. I think we're just going to go into Game 3. Again, Montevallo showcasing they are a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Understanding that they will not take it sitting. They will continue to fight, continue to showcase how oppressive they can be. RIT Orange really needs to try and get over this hurdle. Otherwise, depending on what, mode might be for the last game, if they push it into that, it might spell trouble for RIT.
Yeah. It seemed the full dive comp is working really well for Montevallo. Orange does have Shaq, XD, and Cutie on the anti-dive, however, it does not seem to be enough for them. However, now we do see a rocket pick from Astrid. Maybe it's for a little more survivability.
It seems that University of Montevallo possibly just going Jeff for the initial boost. Nope. They're continuing to just keep the oppressive power that we've seen, that we've continued to see. RIT Orange now needs a good solid response. Really needs to come out the gate swinging to kind of get that first point initially to showcase, we're able to hold. Because a lot of this has just been, Montevallo securing first initially. As you see, Montevallo getting a majority of their entire comp on the points, leaving RIT up top in kind of solid positioning, but just not ideal for the point. Hulk ulting, really good to stall, really good to shake things up against RIT, and Hudie goes down, and Astrid to both the Montevallo units. And they keep just getting pick after pick. It's just way too much damage, way too much oppressive power for Montevallo as they secure the third point, and now we have to just see how RIT responds. Are we going to continue to play the same comp? Are we going to continue to fight this oppressive power with maybe more sustained, maybe more oppressive power on our end as we switch to Rocket Raccoon, getting the res kind of being really game changing, with also Rocket ult not being able to be handled by the opposing team that is playing or Montevallo. So. But Sharky going in with a solid, ult for Daredevil, getting really 2 good picks by his teammates, Flangs and the Hulk, Monstro W. Check his D and Blade 51 just falling to the oppressive force that Montevallo is outputting. We're starting to see a little bit of a repeat here, as we saw in the first match, the second match, which allowed Montevallo first to gain the point and just hold it up until RIT was able to gain it and hold it, but then Montevallo at the very end clinching and then just securing. So I'm really curious if history will repeat, or will RIT attempt to really just shut things down.
Orange is coming in with 5 ults compared to Montevallo's 2.
As
the Fox ult goes down, 2 ults from Orange, 3 ults actually.
3 ults from
Unable
Orange,
to get picked with the Maggle.
Still getting any picks,
but they do
enough to get
support.
the backline, enough to get a DPS. This is what we've talked about, we've seen before.
Actually going for the
kill. Now we're able to secure. Again, it's just a dangerous, position to be at this point. We've seen this literally the game before, where Montevallo secures the start, RIT secures later in, but Montevallo having a big lead, enough so much that it's just enough to be against with, their entire force. And if RIT's not careful, they're going to completely get overwhelmed and lead this into a Game 3. Or Game 5, I should say.
K9 is ready with the dive. And the Hulk goes in. Astro ult goes down.
Kinda
However,
getting
Rocket
a really
gets
good
picked
pick
through
on
it.
Rocket Rack. Cutie popping ult with the Rocket Raccoon. This would be huge if they can get 2 picks here, 3 pick. RIT possibly getting 2 picks. They got maybe a third. If they're able to get a third, they're able to secure continuing that pressure, continuing that force that is needed to deal with Montevallo.
The Hulk got ult back.
Shaq
mid-fight.
XD44 getting a solid pick on, the kinda. RIT now needing to kind of group up a bit for responsive
However,
flanks.
Cutie is in their backline for free. No one contesting him with the turret.
This is
He is
true.
able to take. Oh, he is not.
Forcing
Because
a Hulk ult, which is perfectly okay if RIT plays this well. We're able to just continue and keep the percentage.
he got res. However, Shaq does go
Unfortunately,
down.
Shaq does go down. The rest of the team is not in a great position. Still stalling, but Montevallo is able to secure that last point. A dangerous position now for RIT as they have to portal. They have to touch. If they do not, they in fact lose.
It seems he is waiting for his support, but he does not have much time, and
Yes,
he
as
does
RIT
get it
is
off.
still able to get a portal. We're going to see if they're able to just complete it through
Daredevil
Sharky
ult goes
popping
down.
ult to respond to the portal. K9 going in the back line, trying to get their good ult, trying to get a solid pop.
K9 pops ult, so
and
the Gambit
Rocket
ult goes
popping.
down. They get
Shaq coming up
two.
on ult as well. Let's see how he responds, if he's going to pop it or not.
He does
And
pop
he
it and
does.
completely
Shaq
airballs
XD.
it.
But he's
But
able to still
Venom-
get a pick.
Is on point. Let's see if they
Nice,
have
nice.
time to
now
pour it.
Montevallo still has time to portal, still has a second enough that they need to just place it as
However,
it goes.
Orange has 3 ults coming up as compared to Montevallo's 1 Venom ult.
These ults will
Blade
be
is setting
huge.
up for a
Blade
big
51
ult. Let's see
looking
if he
for a
lands it. And he
really
does.
good ult,
Gets
really
a
good ult,
support.
getting a support, getting a tank, enough to possibly end the game. As
And
Cutie just
Cutie goes
mows down the
crazy.
competition.
He is shattering the
Holy
silence, and
hell.
he went crazy.
And it was just enough for RIT to, end it all, get the 3-win, 3-1 dub.
They were. So they finally were able to get revenge for what happened last semester.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't even be upset at this loss. There was just a really strong showcase by both teams. RIT Orange just able to just completely win it at the last second, showcasing to Montevallo that we are a force to be reckoned with. We are a force to, keep fighting, able to clutch in our own right. And it was just way more enough to just really in those last moments, those key moments you really need, that separate good from great, that, RIT was able to pull off.
Now, this was the first match of their playoffs, I believe. So it was a pretty massive game for them to win. And they showed that they don't go down easy.
Yeah,
They fight.
the teamwork and the adaptability that RIT Orange, showcased today just shows to their prowess and their abilities that they have as, RIT's, divisional first team.
Yeah. And I do believe later on we might be getting a special interview with the one and only Shaq XD404.
Oh God, I cannot wait. But I have to say, Montevallo, if you're watching, good performance, really. That you guys were strong competitors. This wasn't an easy win at all. Despite the scoreboard saying 3-1, every one was hard fought. Every win was just really tough, and that just it's strong competition like this that's able to kind of make us better. If this was just our steamroll, a rollout, this would not be fun to watch. It's not be fun to see. So just having you as competitors, really good stuff. Thank you.
Yeah.
And as I think we're being joined by a special guest here. Oh boy.
I guess I will see you guys.
Introducing the one and only Shaq XD404.
One and only God of Thunder himself.
God of Thunder, enough to
Oh.
make Montevallo completely outright ban you in the last game. How do you feel? Do you feel a rush? Do you feel
It's an insane rush. I thought we were cooked that last Dom point, but then the rocket switch was honestly what saved us. Astrid only dying once and having those reses up to stop those early picks. It honestly saved the game.
Absolutely. I was curious, the entire game, it was not an easy win, not an easy, opponent to face. Montevallo really showcasing really good strengths at the start. How was it, when they popped those really intense, strange portal plays? That's something that I don't think you've really come to anticipate from other teams before.
I think since last semester's Black played against them, we knew that they were gonna do it early portal strats. So we did prepare for it before the game, and then we low-key forgot that first map, and then we're planning for it, and especially since we knew we wanted to just portal directly onto them as they were portaling. We tried planning with the penny mines and invis pull straight into our portal, but they just kind of beat us to it, so we didn't really get the option to do that.
Yeah, that was quite an exciting showcase to see
Mhm.
both teams with both portals on opposite sides. That was probably one of the most humorous things I've ever seen in Marvel Rivals before. Just both teams, portaling to both spawns. I did not expect that, but oh man, was that great. I have to say though, how did you fare off when they went a complete dive? I think obviously, the rocket was a really good switch at the end there, but what was going through your minds when you realized that they're completely just going aggressive, on the offensive, just trying to outdamage and overrun you guys?
I mean, these past few weeks we've honestly went against so many just purely dive teams that we've honestly just had enough practice on how to deal with it. It's just don't be scared, don't walk back, walk forward. There's nothing to be afraid of in front because the whole team is already on you. Just walk to your team, help get defended, and just evade damage as much as you can while our whole team takes care of the dives.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you guys showcased that on your convoy and your convergence maps. Like, you, as the tanks, were just bruising down the front line, the middle, keeping not only a solid wall, but outputting and getting those really solid picks that, as I stated before to the audience, separates good from great.
Mm-hmm. You're
Um,
absolutely
is there
right.
anything that really surprised you this game?
They banning my Thor. I was low-key kind of pressed about that.
Well, to be fair, you did ban their rogue.
That is true. I guess it was a revenge ban.
So what are your, initial reactions after this whole game? Was there anything you feel that needed to be improved upon? Despite your three, the scoreboard, of course, saying 3-1, none of this was a steamroll. None of this was easy. I bet there were times when you honestly were thinking, like, how are we going to come back from this? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, if you were thinking that, especially in that last game, the second point, they were able to completely just clutch up at the very end, leading it to, the third point needing to be the be all end all, possibly if they won, pushing it to a game 5.
Mhm.
What are our initial thoughts on how the team kind of feels, how they can possibly improve, or what worked well and what really didn't?
I think I definitely saw an improvement in our comms and our synergy together. We had call outs, we had fight plans. I think this was just one of the better games that we've played just as a team. We were more coordinated. We knew what comp we wanted to play and what we wanted to play against. And I think we just executed it to near perfection, if I had to say.
Really good stuff on both your ends. The whole team really just solid output, really showcasing low mistakes on a high stakes platform. Really just highlights how at the elite level that you guys are. How to perform and how to really present yourselves. So. Oh, sorry about that. There was a little disruption, but what to your mind was going through your head once they banned out the name, or was there anything when you were wondering like, oh, they took out kind of the bread and butter a bit of your team that
Hmm.
was really working for you guys?
I mean, the Namor ban doesn't affect me personally. That's mostly towards K9 since he is our Namor player. But I think we also just weren't expecting them to go like Spider-Man because they just subbed in that guy for the first time. We
Oh,
weren't familiar with him. We didn't know what he played. So we
interesting.
just weren't expecting it that much, but we dealt with it, we adapted, and we won.
How did you feel when Blade 51 ulted against the Spider-Man grab? Because that, had he not had that ult, I think that would have been really big for that Spider-Man.
I got to give props to Blade 51. He had some amazing ults that game, whether it was Mag or Agamotto's. They just hit every single time.
Absolutely. I did remember though, despite your win, they had an entire point where their, Psylocke just completely picked off your entire team, getting 4 or 5 picks. What was the initial mistakes that led to a scenario like that, and how can we improve?
Obviously, if something like that happens, it's definitely just comes down to either positioning or communication between the supports. Because if one support's getting shot, they gotta comment to the other one to say, I need heals, and even communicate that to the tank saying, we are not looking at you, back up so you have time to regroup and everything. But if a Psylocke is getting 5 picks in one fight, then something was definitely just wrong with um, our coordination during that fight. I wouldn't say that Psylocke was good, was like the server admin or whatever. Obviously, they are a good player, but in such close games like that, it's definitely just team play instead of one player just dominating the whole entire lobby.
Absolutely. I did notice a point where your team had actually changed composition into, Cloak and Dagger with Invis, and I was a bit shocked because they still had Gambit available and
Hmm.
present for the play. So I just was curious, what was the idea behind, the sustain ults as opposed to the damage and sustain?
Because they would be comboing another DPS ult with their Gambit ult, either like Punisher or Star Lord. And obviously, if we Gambit ult and they match with Gambit and Pun or Gambit Star, they will just obliterate us through it. So we need that extra sustain to be able to live those 2 ults for one. We survived that fight. We are up in ult economy, and we should get a fight win from that point onwards.
Nice, nice, nice. And what did you really think about your opponents today? After the entire match, how did you feel?
Uh, I gotta give props to them. I underestimated it. I thought they were gonna be worse, but they proved why they made playoffs in PCL, and you have to respect them for it. And very well played to them as well.
Well, big thank you to ShackXD404. A solid player, solid showcase all around. Good stuff from RIT Orange today. It was a really good win, really good games. Despite that 3-1, not easy. Montevallo should be completely proud with the performance they showcased. That was really strong, albeit just a little bit less, but nothing crazy. It comes down to small mistakes that were just tiny, but enough for some people to take advantage. But again, shouldn't be ashamed. Really good performance, you guys. You guys were steamrolling at a lot of points, and you guys were solid competitors. Thank you so much, Jack.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. You're free to go.
Perfect.
You messed like two. I saw there was a couple others you like messed up.
Oh my god.
It was pretty funny.